Greetings, ladies and gentle players. It's that time again. A time where I have to make another one of those videos that I hate making. Someone decided to try and start stuff on Reddit again. I mean, we've done this before. When was the last time? A year ago. Yeah, a year ago. And I uploaded that to my second channel, good old Scummy Dwyrin reacts to Reddit again. Because angered someone there too. But sure enough, and I was going to let this completely go, but I've been getting messaged on and off for about, I don't know, about the last 12 hours about people, saying this or that, making their opinions known on both sides of what I'm about to show you. And I realized, even though I had no intention of making a video about this in any way, shape, or form, it's gotten to the point where here we go again. And a lot of you veterans in the channel, you already know what's coming. But yeah, we had over here someone who just made their Reddit account today, or yesterday, I guess, decided to make a post. What do people think of Dwyrin Bats Go? The entire thread proceeds to just mischaracterize almost anything I've ever said. They kind of cherry pick various clips to point at this, and it gets really, really, really disgusting to the point where some of the messages I've been getting are from people just horrified and wanting to know if this is what the Go community is actually like. And to those of you who have been messaging, no. Most of the people are not as filled with this weird hatred that you're seeing here. Most of them aren't. Most of them are absolutely fine. They just want to tune into content. They just want to have a laugh, learn a little something in the process. That's completely fine. That's mostly who they are. It's just, unfortunately, when you've been doing what I do for 10 years, you do make a few people angry for whatever, because you can never make everyone happy. You can never, ever, ever get on everyone's good side unless you really water down your content and don't really have opinions. The danger of ever putting an opinion out there is, regardless of whatever that opinion is, if you say, even if you say I love pizza, you'll find people, well, they don't like pizza. You'll never get agreement on everything the minute you get an opinion out there. That's just the nature of it. And since I am, for better or worse, one of the most visible content creators in the Western Go community, I draw a lot of fire. Especially because it's really easy to hit at me since I'm not a professional. So it's not like if you hit this person, they've also got an organization behind them. In my case, I'm just literally one dude. I'm not super rich. I don't have millions of subscribers. So even if you do punch at them, it's not like you got a lot of people coming back at you. So I'm a really, really, really safe target that people just really love going for. So that's most of what you have here. Case in point, thread begins off saying, not trying to be rude, maybe it's just me, but you kind of know that you're probably going to be rude. I mean, that's why you created a brand new Reddit account, just to safely post this. That's my opinion. Maybe this literally is their first brand new day on Reddit, and they've never had an account before this, but I somehow doubt it, Let's see. Some of the jokes I make get a yikes out of them. Okay. Yeah, that's the nature of humor, man. I have fun on my streams. Yeah. I make jokes on my streams. Yeah. That's just what's gonna happen. I'm not the professorial kind of content creator, where you just kind of like sit there straight face, just the facts, ma'am, kind of person. No, I like having fun and joking with chat. Absolutely love joking with chat because we're kind of a community, kind of like a Go Club. I say that all the time. And in Go Club, at least the ones that I've been to, people joke with each other. They have fun. They kid each other constantly. And that's the kind of atmosphere that I like in my streams. But all right, what do we got here? Let's see. When he loses, it's always because my opponents waited for a mistake. That's a big one. That's a big one. Now, most of the time, what they don't say is when you bring up the AI and you see your graph go from here straight down to here in like one move. And up until then, you were predominantly like in a really good position. I've been wrong about that occasionally, and I try to call myself out about that when when I am wrong about that, and I had the board not quite as analyzed as I thought it was. But usually that's what you're seeing. And what's fun about that is some of this is even backed up by professionals. Because again, I've shared my pro reviews. And a lot of my pro reviews, well, what did they say? Yeah, this game was yours, you shouldn't have lost it. And then you just made a mistake there. Whether you like it or not, the opponent is waiting at that point for the mistake that I stupidly made. And that's how you have that. But a lot of that is more on me and my frustration that I'm making a mistake a lot of the time. You simply will not admit to being wrong about something. That's also not, again, given I've streamed for, I think, like, I don't think a lot of these people fully understand just how long I've been streaming. I have 4,000 hours streamed. I say that I make mistakes a lot. In fact, if you ask any of my regular viewers, they'll tell you I'm harder on my own play than I ever am on my opponents because I make a lot of mistakes. So, like, these kind of things kind of get annoying because how just not true they are. I'm always pointing out my own mistakes. That's what annoys me so much when I see myself making mistakes, and I don't hide that from chat. I'm always talking about how bad my life and death is. I'm always talking about how terrible my reading is. Now, to be fair, my terrible reading has gotten to me to 8 Dawn before, so cool for the terrible reading there, but you get the idea. If it was just the guy, I wouldn't be getting all of the comments that I've been getting lately. But unfortunately, over 10 years, you get a lot of people who hate you for whatever reason. And I want to warn you, some of these people are kind of sick. Like, you have some people just chiming in just to advertise someone else, like, okay, whatever. You have some people going in, again, with the whole sandbagging thing, the whole idea of the basic series, and there's a whole thread of here about people saying, oh, you shouldn't play ranked games, you should play unranked games with your chat or something. And the problem there is, like, if these people had actually watched my content, they know I've been there, done that, and it doesn't work out. Because, like I say in the threads here, the minute a player knows they're playing a much stronger opponent, they change how they play. Any Go teacher who's ever done one-on-one teaching, one of the very first things they're going to tell you is that some of the first lessons are getting the student to play like they normally do. Because if they're not playing like they normally do, how is any of that gonna help their normal games? You know? So a lot of the first lessons are breaking the student of that nervousness of playing differently and like reassuring them over and over and over again, giving them confidence to play like they would on the ladder. So if I did as they suggested, I'd be playing games that you wouldn't be seeing if I like was playing like a 5Q series. against random 5Qs in chat. You'd be getting a lot of 5Qs that don't play like the 5Qs you're gonna see. So how is that helpful to you? And I know it because I tried, I made videos on it, and y'all knew instantly that something weird was going on. We just kept getting a bunch of funny people because they take unranked games very, very differently. Like it or not, if I'm giving advice to play people at a certain rank on the ladder, I need to play certain people at the ladder, on the ladder. But because, unlike what this thread will have you believe, I respect my opponents and I try to do the least amount of damage to them as possible, which is why I'm always checking profiles. Like, are they about to rank up? If they're about to rank up, I'm not playing them. Are they about to rank down? I'm not ranking down people. Even though I'm sure there's a bunch of people who probably would like to see that. They'd probably get a laugh out of it. I do draw the line somewhere to ensure it doesn't happen. I don't also re-queue into the same person, because that would do more damage to their rank. I play like one game a week on my basic series, right? And I do as little damage as possible when I'm playing those. Now, this individual here does mention that in chess, there are some people that do play unranked games just fine. But even in the case that they mentioned, that's because they have 3.46 million subscribers to pick from. So there's like you can get new people all day. You can get new people all day long. Go is a little bit different in my opinion. I don't think it's an apples to apples kind of comparison. But I'm just not big enough to do that. Long story short. I don't have like 1,000 5Qs that I could play through, and then some of them will be playing how they would on the ladder. Maybe some of them wouldn't. Who knows? Ultimately, wouldn't matter at that point because you have so many subs. Like whatever you do, it's gonna work. Sister Disco did mention something like that, but I noticed the other people who mention it, they're getting downvoted because it's not what these people want to hear. It's just not what they want to hear. This thread, what's really weird about this thread is that it turned into an echo chamber of you agree with me or I'm downvoting you for disagreeing with me. Like they're just going to hate this person and downvote them too. It's So you can kind of see why I've been getting comments all day about like, is this really what the Go community is like? I can't believe they're acting this way. I didn't know things were like this, etc., etc., etc. And to be honest, I thought they were a vocal minority too. I'm a little shocked, to be completely honest. This person, however, did mention when facing a GM or similar level opponent in chess, people do tend to play more closed openings. Exactly. And I'm trying to help you guys learn how to answer normal play, not how to answer people who think they're playing stronger opponents. It just doesn't work. I wish it did. I tried it. It just doesn't. But unfortunately, they have been like upvoting people who find like people who don't do it that way. They're downvoting people who have the nerve to say it doesn't quite work out that way. I mean, it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross. And then you have other people who are just flat out wrong. Well, not they're wrong. They're giving an opinion, but it's I don't think they thought too hard about the opinion. Like you got these people who are saying, I don't think the value is there despite people having benefited from the approach, which is weird immediately because one hand you just said you don't think the value is there, and then you just said the value is there. But that's not the point of the post. Like the logic isn't the point of the post. The point is he feels it's not a good thing because he thinks it's all about superior feeling. Like the feelings are why they're making the post. But you just undid the post because you said there's benefits. And I'm getting comments all the time on how there's benefits. So you can feel that way, but the reality is it helps. That's why, among other reasons, those people who tune into Asian streams, because yeah, you got like hide-ons and pros playing or playing and streaming their games elsewhere, obviously not on Twitch. They do the same thing too. I even want to I want to say it was Keji, one of the strongest players in the world, where he played up from 1 Dan randomly too to help people out. But it's hard to punch at a professional, right? Pretty easy to come after me. And then you have some of the things that I completely didn't see coming. Because you have other people apparently going like, oh yeah, that Dwyrin guy is just arrogant and I've never been called this before. Entitled? I don't even have any idea where they're getting that one from. And apparently they think Nick Sabicki is arrogant and entitled too? Like, I don't know. People just like really like going after the more well-known, like the people who are on top, and just trying to punch up at them, I guess. Like it's weird. And then you have things that are then after like all of that didn't get like apparently like enough of a buzz. Then it really takes a turn where people just start making stuff up. Like the comment here where apparently they think where he says that I speak poorly of both my opponents and viewers? Now, the only thing I can say of speaking poorly on my viewers, and we're going to get to this, this is a bit of a repeating theme here, is maybe I was joking with one of my friends in chat, and someone looked at that and they were like, oh, there he goes again, being all mean to the viewers. Like, maybe that's a thing? I tried to see where this actually came from, because I'd never heard that before. Like, you can argue, yeah, I do point out bad moves, both my opponent's and my own. And I am very, very harsh on bad moves, my opponent's and my own. That way, over the course of like the 200-300 moves that are in a game, the bad moves really stick out to the viewer, because getting stronger at Go is about taking advantage of bad moves, and those bad moves, the number of bad moves in a game steadily decreases as you go up and up the ranks. So being very, very vigilant on where those bad moves are, super, super, super important. It's like the number one thing to keep rising, right? So you got to make sure that those things stick out and stick out over the course of, you know, the 4-6 hours that you're streaming. That those little lessons are kind of like popping a little bit more, you know, kind of like highlighting or whatever. But I think the crux of it is maybe sometimes I do say, as I point here, that I do point out to DDKs a lot of the time that they don't have to worry so much, because since they're solo on the ladder, there's a lot of little things that they can tweak in their play to immediately see an improvement in their play. And I do say that they're lucky for that, because once you're like 5 Dan, 6 Dan, 7 Dan, 8 Dan, 9 Dan, there's not really like a little tweak that you have that will immediately, you know, give you the same kind of improvement, right? So it should be reassuring to like a lower ranked player who wants to get better that, oh yeah, you've just got like these little things that you don't have to go crazy, don't have to study for hundreds of hours. You can do a little few changes if you just want to see some improvement, little things you can work on to see like a meaningful, almost immediate improvement in your play. Because that, I thought, reassures the player that they can keep getting better at the game, even if they don't have a lot of time, even if they want to be a little bit more casual about it. But I don't know. I don't know. And then you had people who are coming out with They've been going through and finding clips and taking them out of context. Which you absolutely can. If you go through all my VODs, you'll eventually find something that is off color. 100%, 100% without a doubt. It reminds me of I had the good fortune of talking to like a traffic cop, essentially, and sharing stories about jobs, teaching and policing and whatnot. One thing that they said always stuck out with me, and that is, even if someone thinks they're following like the rules of the road, if you hang on to them long enough, you'll find something to write them up for. Because again, 4,000 hours of streaming. Like, wrap your brain around that. 4,000 hours of streaming. Yeah, I probably said some bad stuff. I probably said, yeah, 100%. I've said terrible stuff. There's no way I've been perfect for 4,000 hours. It's impossible. I'm human. Absolutely impossible. So if you want to crawl through and cherry pick something and be like, oh no, this is the smoking gun, whatever. But I fully accept, yeah, like in a Go club, I do talk smack about my opponents. Occasionally. 100%. Because that's what happens at a Go club. And that's kind of the atmosphere I'm trying to have on my channel, where you can relax, make jokes, don't take everything quite so seriously. You can just have fun. You can just have fun. But a lot of people here, apparently, they don't like that. They don't like that. Another person said it's super important not to pick up his mindset. In order to finally break into the Don ranks, which is weird because my student just broke into the Don ranks, so I guess that's alright. Particularly the habit of seeing an opponent's move and thinking that's a bad move. See, again, with the whole mistake thing, or getting it decently and thinking my opponent is being bad manner for continuing. And I mean, for that, you can go back to literally Monday's video, where the opponent kept playing. The opponent kind of kept playing in the old territory, hoping I'd make a mistake. I mean, yeah, that's bad manner. Though I can understand, again, people who prefer euphemistic language will definitely have a problem with that. But as I said literally in this video, I'm old school. I see this stuff, and I just remember the good old StarCraft days of watching Terrans pop up their buildings and scatter the edges of the map just to kind of annoy you when they've lost and waste more of your time. Like, I didn't make this up. It's been a thing on the internet forever. It's been a thing on the internet forever, right? Kind of the same thing where they like rip the plug out of their computer. So you have to sit there for however many minutes while it ticks down so you can finally disconnect them. Right? It's that last ultimate act of spite. And I get it. They would prefer is if I pretended to be oblivious to it. Just like if I pretended that a move is good or bad. But I can assure you, again, if you are unable to see bad moves, you're going to be in trouble in your game. Because you won't know what to go after. Like, if you think nothing's a bad move, then nothing is a good move, right? Because you can't have one without the other. You can't have good without bad. So, you can pretend, no, there's no such thing as bad moves. Fine, then there's no such thing as good moves either. But you know that's not how they feel. So it's just weird. It's just weird. And again, they just keep making stuff up. Tried watching his stuff when I was a beginner and found the entire style of his content hostile to newcomers. Even his videos specifically aimed at beginners are him just ridiculing his opponents when they make a mistake and failing to explain better play. Really? My basic series is just me ridiculing my opponent and not explaining what's better. Like, do the So yeah, you can see the kind of echo chamber where this began, because like I've got I don't know how many videos on my channel where this is clearly not the case. Where this is absolutely not the case. I cannot think of a what faster way to make new players never want to play again. I mean, you can think of a lot of stuff apparently, because you like just making things up out of thin air. You would often sandbag and not try to improve at all. That's kind of weird, given that I've been improving constantly. I mean, I was 8 Dan 2 years ago. This year, I got almost all of my accounts to 7 Dan. But okay. Okay, yeah, I guess that's true too. Like, they're just making things up essentially because they don't like my content. Or me personally. Whatever it is, I don't know. And where it's getting really disgusting is now they're also trying to bring other people into it. Like this wonderful individual here says he was the same when giving reviews at the MGA League. Again, I've got all of the MGA reviews on my channel. I can link them all and you could go through them if that's and see if that was actually true or not. Hint, it wasn't. Don't believe me? Ask the person who was there for them all. You can ask Milan. So again, completely not true, just flat out lying about this. Extremely arrogant, acted like he is a 9P. Again, I don't know where these people are coming from with their ideas. He's insane. Had to make sure I avoided the time Dwyrin will be giving the review. Okay, so which one is it? Yeah, apparently he didn't watch all my reviews, except for when he watched all my reviews and saw that I was... Like, you can see how the logic is just not here in the slightest. One time even mocking Colossius, who misread while giving a review just before him. So now they're trying to pull in other people to kind of like back up the garbage that they're spewing, which is really getting crazy. Like, I guess they don't know that me and Colossius are friends. I think I have an idea of what they're referring to, where Colossius went through a variation, and then I think I remember it not working out, and then he laughed at it and corrected himself. Like, he didn't read a cut point after he got through telling everyone to read a cut point. Well, since I'm friends with him, yeah, I point out after he was done with the review, it's like, so not reading your cut points there, are ya? And I guess this guy was there for it, and he was like, oh, there's Dwyrin going again. Oh, there he goes, just being rude again. Like, oh my god, you've gotta be kidding. Like, I don't think this guy knows that I tune into Colossius's content constantly. I'm always chatting with him. I know he's struggling to, I know that, over the years, he's had problems making ends meet, and I've donated to him constantly to help him out. But they saw, like, something, and they want to, like, take any little thing to just, like, blow it up and, I don't know, maybe farm Reddit karma, or I don't know. It's absolutely crazy, but it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. They just keep making things up. And the minute anyone says... Now, admittedly, not all the comments have been negative, and I have been getting messages on Discord, on even Reddit, amazingly enough, with people who are a little bit more rational and sane, I would say. And I'm hiding this person's name because you can see the hatred that's going on in that. And I'm not the only one disgusted by it. Like this person here who says that they're mortified and disgusted by what people are saying. That makes 2 of us. That they can't do anything about be a voice. They can't do anything about it, but be a voice that cares enough to write you to message. And a lot of people have done this too, so thanks to all of you who have. And tell you what your channel means to me. They go on to say that their life is nuts. They have a lot going on right now. They're in med school as a non-traditional student. It's grueling, don't have much time to spare, but small amount I do, I spend it on Go. Thing is, I'm usually wiped out from school and I don't have the mental brain units to play a solid game. So instead, I tune into your channel, taking them to DDK from DDK to 1Q, which is good. I mean, that's generally what I hope I can do for a lot of people. Take them to about DDK to about 3 Dan or so. Can't really do higher than that, so I'm not a professional. But that's just the ranks. Truly, I really enjoy your content. When I'm in a bad place, you'll pull me out of it. You have a way about you. Your personality is hilarious, and frankly, I don't laugh that much. It takes a lot of bravery to put yourself out there like you do, and there are a lot of people who admire that. As for the negative posts on Reddit, that's what happens when you have an impact. Impact always brings scavengers that want to nip at your success and tear you down. Don't let them. I'm a good teacher, do amazing things for us in Go community, and can tell you without a doubt that if it were not for you, there would be a lot less of us, me included. Give people confidence and guidance. Don't you dare let anyone convince you otherwise. And I feel that it's important to highlight messages on that to reassure people in the Go community that whatever it is you're seeing on Reddit, most of the people aren't that way. Like, whatever weird hatred that they have for me, so much so that they feel the need to, like, cherry pick anything to try to justify, like, those feelings they have, or just blatantly make things up. Most of the Go community isn't that way. Given that the majority of that thread was just filled with trying to drive people to other content creators, I have a hunch that I know what that crap was really about, or at least half of it. A lot of it just seems to be people, not the people who are creating the content, but some bad actors in their community who are just trying to use like drama and stuff to advertise other content creators, at least the ones they agree with. Apparently Nick didn't make the cut. Still shocked about that one. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So yeah, it's weird. I didn't think I'd be replying to this at like 3 o'clock in the bloody morning, but it seems to have blown up, which I really, really hate because I know the person who created the Reddit account just yesterday wanted this exactly. This is what they wanted. They wanted drama, they wanted a reaction, and unfortunately, now I'm giving it to them. All I can say is when you see this kind of stuff in Reddit or wherever, don't engage. Don't give these people what they're looking for, because you won't be able to say anything to change their mind, as in case where we just saw, where they were downvoting the people who were trying to even slightly offer a different opinion. It just kind of becomes an echo chamber where they just want to hear where they want to just express how much they dislike something, and they want to hear other people who dislike it as well, so they can just bounce it around and echo it all over the place. So yeah, those of you who've been getting upset at it, I know it's unfortunate. It just kind of comes with the nature of things. I'm a very soft, easy target to go for the reasons I mentioned. This person will not be the last person to try to target me for whatever it is they have in mind. As I showed, like literally, we did this last year too. If it's not him, it'll be someone else, and it will always be someone else. That's just the nature of the game. I wish it wasn't like that. I really do. I wish we could just all come together and enjoy the game, have fun, have a laugh. But that's just not the way of it. So yeah, don't feed into this content. Don't give them what they're looking for. I'm still going to be here helping you guys, giving my honest opinions about the game that we all enjoy. They're free to hate that to their heart's content. I hope it brings them some joy. But this is the last I'm going to be talking about this. I would much rather concentrate on helping you guys get better at the game, explaining basics to those who are trying to learn, and taking out some 7 and 8 Dons along the way. If they don't like that, that's their prerogative. On that note, I'm sure it's going to piss them off again, but I'll be playing some DDKs this week for lovely, pure basic style to help some of you lovely DDKs who are struggling with the game, give you some wonderful tips on how to improve. Can look forward to that. My book will be out next week, I think. Looks like it will be from everything that I'm seeing. So those of you who are looking forward to that, you can look forward to that too. I've been here for 10 years, doing this, helping y'all out. I'll be here for another 10, much to their dislike. And I hope you're all still here with me in another 10. Still enjoying the content, still learning some stuff. Maybe I'll even be 9 done by then. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah. I'm Dwyrin. This is the absolute last I'm saying about that. And I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.